Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you very much for being here this morning. My name is Randy McLean. I'm the Vice President of Humboldt Broncos. After an extensive search, we're here for an important announcement this morning. But without further ado, I'd like to call upon our President, Mr. Kevin Geringer, to come forward.
Thanks, Randy. Good morning, everyone. First and foremost, I want to recognize that our work this morning is, of course, to have a press conference here in Humboldt to share some very important news relative to our head coach and general manager position for the Humboldt Broncos. And of course, it's a position that is very near and dear to all of our hearts as we recognize the tragedy that occurred on April 6th and the fact that we are, in order for us to be able to move forward, and we need to have, we need to take on the responsibility, of course, of ensuring that someone is here to lead this organization moving forward. So today is to share that announcement. And I want to, first of all, as Randy mentioned, extend my appreciation to the board and to the community, recognizing that we've had to go through a process that's taken the time that we've needed to ensure that we've been able to come to a decision that is the best one we feel for our organization moving forward. So we had a number of applications for this position, and the fact is that we have selected one candidate, and the candidate who we have selected is Nathan Oystrick. And I want to give you just a little bit of background to Nathan. Nathan grew up in Saskatchewan. He played his junior hockey in the SJHL and then went on to the BCHL, where he played for the South Surrey Ravens. Eagles, pardon me. And then from there, he went on to what every junior A hockey player's dream is, to play with Northwestern Michigan in the NCAA Division I. And so that, of course, led to a professional career, a 10-year professional career that also resulted in him playing 65 games in the NHL, playing 338 games, I believe it is, in the AHL, and playing in Europe in the KHL and other places like that. Nathan has a background in coaching that is new, but yet is exciting for this organization. He's had the opportunity to be an assistant coach in the East Coast Hockey League for 2 years, and then from there was a high school coach in Colorado. When he moved his family to Colorado, he got the job at one of the high schools to coach high school hockey as well. So he's dealt with athletes in this age group as well. So without further ado, I want to welcome to Humboldt, our community, and to everyone here, welcome Nathan Oystrick.
Thank you. On behalf of my wife and I, I'd like to thank the Humboldt Broncos Hockey Club and organization for the opportunity to be this organization's next head coach and general manager. My wife and I are excited to move to Saskatchewan and to be joining a tremendous community of Humboldt. We're grateful for the warm welcome that I've received so far since I've been here, and I look forward to leading the Humboldt Broncos. But we'll never forget the circumstances which have brought me here. I understand how much the Broncos have always meant to the community of Humboldt, but I also understand what the team means to so many people across North America and globally. I'm honored and excited to help lead the Humboldt Broncos to success in the 2018-2019 season. I did not know Darcy Hogan, but like so many people in this world today, I wish I had. His core covenant will remain where he placed it on the wall outside the Broncos dressing room. I believe in his commitment to not just developing skilled hockey players, but developing great human beings. And I hope that I can make him proud while doing this job. On the ice, I wanted to play a fast-paced, in-your-face game. We're going to play a pressure game. Having played at different levels, I know that pressure is a big thing in the game. My goal here is to win championships, but also to build strong character people. Off the ice, I want to build relationships with the people of Humboldt, in the community, and help wherever and whenever I can. The players and I will be heavily involved in community events, and you will get to know me and the players very well. Again, thank you to the board of directors, personnel, fans of the Humboldt Broncos for welcoming me to this historic community. I look forward to meeting everyone and to see you all at the games. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll take questions from media now.
I guess we'll start with Kevin. What exactly were you looking for, in terms of the coach when you're going on the search?
First and foremost, I think we had a number of candidates, some internal even, who are great people. And that's what we were looking for, somebody who would treat our kids extremely well. That's obviously important to this organization, but also who had the background and skills to be able to then, when dealing with character, would then be able to move the organization forward as well as it had been moving forward in the past few years.
So when you saw his name show up in your inbox, what attributes stood out to him? Why did you end up selecting him?
Well, I think part of the process, of course, is connecting with other people who knew him and that sort of thing, and we did the same for other people as well, to make sure that we had that sense going into it, that who is this individual, so those are the processes you need to engage in when you're dealing with a human resources matter, something as important as hiring the head coach of the Humboldt Broncos.
During the interview process, was there sort of a moment where you're like, this is our guy, and so what was that?
I can't get into what happened during the interview, so I can't share those pieces, but I can tell you that what I appreciate about Nathan in general is that he is committed to people first. And through the commitment to people comes a commitment then to an organization, a community, and ultimately a hockey team, which we want to continue on the path that we've been on in the past, which is to try and build strong character, but ultimately try and bring championships to Humboldt as well.
Kevin, did you ever get a final tally on how many applicants you had for this position at all?
Yeah, we were just a little over 50 applicants, so quite a few applicants had come through, and some obviously some very qualified people, as we know, and so we're very happy with the number of applications we had for the position.
So Kevin, you talked about the mixed emotions you had with doing this hiring. Can you just tell us now, I guess, what it means to the program to have this step done now?
Well, this is an important step. I've talked about this before. The face and the heart and soul of this organization was Darcy Hogan. It was not me. I was never on the radio. I never talked to cameras. I never had to do any of that. It's not something I ever wanted to do. Now we have that presence. We have someone here now who can step into that role. That's a critical and important role for this community and for this organization.
I have a question for Nathan.
Good.
Well, first of all, Nathan, warm welcome from Bolt FM.
Thank you.
You'll be working with us a lot. But I guess my question is, this is a very emotional step for you and your family. And for those that, in a sense, are taking over for and for those families, if there was something you could say to them and letting them know that you are taking a step in the right direction and you want to honor the Broncos, what would you say to them?
I would say that, my passion for the game, my passion for helping players to try and get where they want to go, and also in trying to help them become who they will be when they're men is very important to me. I'm committed to the game. I'm committed to helping people, and you know, I'm gonna try and push our players to be the best that they can, and we will try to do that in the honor of those people.
What made you want to apply for this position?
Lots of things. Number one was the passion that I have for the game. Obviously, you know, trying to come in and help a community. A lot of it goes back to when I wanted to start coaching. I look back on my career at the coaches I had and that who influenced me, and I feel I wouldn't be here without them. So I'm hoping to give back the same way. I hope that in 15 or 20 years, I'm at a press conference where one of my players is doing the exact same thing and, you know, possibly saying, you know, it was because of Coach Oystrick.
What went through your mind when you learned that you got the job?
Nerves. You know, obviously some excitement. It's a head coaching position. My goal for coaching is the same goal that I had when I was playing, and that's to get to the highest level. As a player, I did it through steps in 3 different ways, and I want to do the same thing now. I want to work hard, and I want to learn, and I'm going to make mistakes, but that's part of the learning process. So I want to get to the next level because I deserve to be at the next level.
Kevin mentioned you've worked with a couple different age groups in your career so far coaching. What have you learned that you're going to bring to working with the Broncos?
The biggest thing is that every kid's different, or every player's different. To me, you know, once my wife and I get settled in Humboldt, the players come in, it's going to be sitting down with each and every player, getting to know them, having them in return get to know me. Players learn different, they react different to different coaching styles. I think I'm a pretty open, honest, positive person, and that's helped me in my past. I try to keep things upbeat, and you know, I hope my players appreciate that.
You talked a little bit about the circumstances, Nathan, and obviously, when a junior A hockey team hires a coach, this isn't how it normally goes down attention-wise. First game is on national television. Junior A games, regular season, aren't normally televised. What have you thought about with regards to preparing for kind of this situation as opposed to other coaching positions or opportunities that might have come up?
To be honest, for me, anytime you hire a new coach, there's pressure. I put pressure on myself to do well. I want to succeed at everything I do. You know, so the preparation, when Kevin and the board offered me the position, the preparation started right there. Like I said earlier, I'm committed. I want to be here. I want to learn. I want to make you know, the Humboldt Broncos organization and the community proud of not only me, but of our team. And yeah, like it's a work in progress. I'm going to have a lot of work to do, obviously still, and that work won't ever stop.
What's your kind of first priority, I guess, Nathan, when you, with obviously a unique situation in terms of roster and all that sort of thing?
Probably getting here first. You know, we live in Colorado right now, and we're hoping to get out here and settled in the first couple weeks. From there, you know, I'm not sure exactly when the players will start trickling in, but if they get in early, that's an opportunity for me to meet them. A big thing for me is trying to get involved in the community, reach out to people and build relationships. If I've learned anything in my playing career, is that the biggest thing hockey does for anyone is build relationships. Whether it's in the community, your teammates, your coaches, it doesn't matter. You'll always, every city you play in, everywhere you go, you'll always remember someone or a group of people from that area. So for me, it's, you know, it's a start to build relationships, getting settled, getting going on training camp preparation, season preparation.
Okay, 2 more questions.
I have one for Nathan and then one for Kevin, if that's okay. I was gonna say, have you had a chance to meet anyone who's on that bus in April yet?
I have not.
My other question was for you, Kevin. I just wanted to know, where's the GoFundMe at right now in terms of providing that?
So just to give you a brief update on where that sits, we recently, as early as Friday of last week, have gone through processes regarding court proceedings, started a process to, that's necessary, of course, to be able to work through the distribution of those funds. But that's what took place as early as Friday.
Wait, sorry, can you clarify why a court process is involved to distribute the funds?
A court process has always been involved in it. This is a legislative matter. It's always been a legislative matter. It comes from an act that was developed in 2015. And so that act obviously is legislation. So through that process, there are pieces that relate to going to court so that you can get certain things through an order to allow us to continue to move forward with the process.
So what would you ultimately like to see happen, just to sort of sum up with that GoFundMe?
The same thing we've said right from the get-go, and that is that we expect that we're going to distribute the funds to our families, and that every cent that was raised for the purpose of GoFundMe would go directly back to the families impacted by this tragedy.
So that's the split at 29?
No, yeah, it's to divide it to, or give it out to the families alone, 29 different ways. So I'm not, I think there's some pieces there that maybe I've shared in the past that people maybe have forgotten about, and that is that we have an advisory committee that's been established. We've got processes in place that run through the legislation, and so we'll continue that down that path in order to distribute the funds in the way that the legislation is directing us to.
What's the rest of the staff going to look like? Is that been discussed yet?
So those are the next steps, and of course we rely heavily on our head coach and GM to work through that, but there are some pieces, of course, that we will be advertising for immediately now that we have our head coach and GM in place.
And then one more for you, and that's just, you can put a wrap on this as soon as the puck drops, right? I mean, from April 6th, the puck dropped at the start of 18-19. How do you think that's going to feel for you, having to be the front man of this from the tragedy on?
I think that today is the sort of the place where I now, it'll go over to our head coach and general manager, and ultimately September 12th is only the start of our regular season. That's how we'll view it, and we look forward to the course of the season and involving our Humboldt Broncos with our community again, as that has been the passion for this community and for all of us who were involved in the Humboldt Broncos prior to April 6th and moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.